Hi, third grade. Today we're going to do a McCalls reading comprehension together, number 26. I've given you a copy inside the Google Classroom, but also you could read it from the screen on my camera if you'd like to, but I'd like us to read it together, so please look at it while I'm reading. And please, we're going to go over strategies on how to answer these so that you can do one next week. You will have one that you have to be graded on next week, okay? Two artists tried to see which one could paint the best picture. The first artist painted a date tree. He put the picture in the yard. The birds came and tried to eat the dates. The judges saw it and said, "You have surely won the prize. The second artist cannot possibly paint so good a picture as that, but we will go see his picture." They went to the second painter's house. There were beautiful red curtains on the wall. The artist said, "Lift the curtains and you will find my picture." They tried to lift the curtains but found that they were painted there. They were the second artist's picture. The judges said, "Birds thought the dates were real. Men thought the curtains were real. The second artist has won the prize." Okay, so now we're going to read the questions and look for the clues in the paragraph to try to answer the question. So the first one is, how many artists were there? So let's go back to the very beginning of our story and we see what? Oh, two. Now you can either circle or underline, but right there you have two artists. So we know that we're looking for two. So the answer here, they have one, two, and there's our answer. Now guys, when you make your markings on your paper, please, please, please make a dark mark, okay? So just circle it dark. I broke my pencil. I tried to do it so dark, but I'm having trouble seeing your work on a lot of you. Also, when your parents photograph your work, please be directly up on top of it and not on an angle because it also makes it hard for me to read, okay? All right, number two. The first artist painted A, birds, B, a yard, C, a date tree, and D, flowers. Now we do remember that's right in the beginning of our story. So the first artist painted a date tree. That's right there. So we're going to circle a date tree. Just have to circle the C. You don't have to go and circle this onto the next line. That's all you do. It's a simple answer. But remember, you have to have your name on these because they're just marks on a paper. So remember, whenever you're doing these, that you have your name on it and you make nice dark circles around the ones that you're answering. Okay? Now, if you want to use the strategy of doing a light answer first, that's okay, as long as you go back and darken the one you mean. Okay? It's very important that your answer be definite. Okay? Number three, the first artist put his picture in A, his house, B, his friend's house, C, a box, and D, the yard. Well, you can go right back here and see what? He put the picture in the yard. It's right there. So these are pretty easy right now. So we're going to circle, nice and dark, yard. Okay? Number four, the second artist painted A, curtains, B, a house, C, windows, and D, a red chair. So let's look at the second artist. Let's find, where's this? Oh, the second artist. Okay, that's the first time the second one's mentioned, but it's not the right sentence. They went to the second painter's, oh, there he is, house. There were beautiful red curtains on the wall. Lift the curtains and you'll find my picture. He tried to lift the curtains but found that they were painted. So let's look back at the question. The second artist painted curtains, right? It's right there, curtains. Okay, so you can go back and circle it or underline it, whatever it is that'll help you remember the answer. So let's circle A, curtains. Pretty easy so far, right? Okay, number five, the second artist's picture was good because A, it was in the house, B, it was on the wall, C, it was red, or D, it looked real. Well, let's look back and see. The second artist's picture, here we are. There were beautiful curtains on the wall. The artist said, "Lift the curtains and you will find my picture." They tried to lift the curtains, but found that they were painted there. They were the second artist's pictures. Now, what about that made it good? I think we find it in the next sentence. Men thought the curtains were real. So is there an answer like that in number 5? The second artist picture was good because A, it was in the house, B, it was on the wall, C, it was red, or D, it looked real. I think we'd have to say D because it looked real. Curtains were real. They thought the curtains were real. Okay? All right. Let's moving right along. Number 6. The judges thought the first artist's picture good because A, it was large, B, it was small, C, it was in the yard, or D, the birds thought it was real. Well, we have that a couple of times in this story, don't we? At the beginning, it said the birds came and tried to eat the dates. Okay, so that it looked real there, but here's where it really says it. The judges said birds thought the dates were real, and there confirms your answer. So the answer was, for this one, the birds thought it was real. Okay? Number 7, the second artist won the prize because the curtains looked real to the A, children, B, birds, C, judges, or D, women. Well, we know that in the last one, it says this. It says men thought the curtains were real. Okay? The second artist has won the prize because men who have brains and think the thoughts of men, judges, thought it was real, not just animals. Okay? All right, now the next one. Although I do think animals are very bright. I'm just saying man was created above the animals, okay? Just like in the image of God, we're like God in that way. 8, the second artist's picture was A, behind curtains, B, on the wall, C, in the yard, or D, in his hand. Now, we go back here and it says, he tells them they were beautiful curtains on the wall. The artist says, lift the curtains and you will find my picture. They tried to lift them. They were painted there. So that gives us a clue, doesn't it? The second artist's picture was on the wall. It wasn't behind it wasn't behind the curtains because it was the curtains. So it was on the wall. It was painted right on the wall. We can infer that. That's a bit of inference, okay? Inference. Look here. There was beautiful curtains on the wall. The artist said, lift the curtains and you'll find my picture, okay? Now, here's the hardest question on the whole test. We may infer, that means we come to the conclusion that something happens because of the information in our story, okay? We may infer that the judges were A, prejudiced, okay? That means they took one person over the other. B, impartial, that's the opposite. That means that they didn't favor either side. C, they were very unobservant. That means they did not observe. And D, inexpert. That means they were not experts. The little in means not. That's a prefix, okay? Un is a prefix. That means not also. In and not also, they both mean that way. So what do you think the answer to this one is? That's the hardest one on the test, okay? And the answer would be B. They're impartial. We can infer that they weren't taking sides one over the other of the artists. And the inference, they don't say it in there, but we are assuming it. Okay, we're assuming that they did not have a favorite. They just went to see both artists. Okay, so this was relatively easy. Okay, what I want you to do, put your name there. Okay, I'm going to put my name at the bottom. That's what I want you to do when you do these. And make dark circles when you do them. Okay, if you have to go through it lightly first and then darken them, that's okay. But please, some of you are making like circles like this, and it's very hard for me to see. I see a little bit of the circle like that. I don't want to see that. I really want to see you make a dark circle around it, okay? All right, I'll meet up with you again. We're going to do one more before I do a test with you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.